We're not here to make up the numbers, we're here to compete as well. This squad, with the power they have on their day, they can do anything they want.
Hello, welcome to the Glassgirls Network with me, Jonathan. How you doing, Kieran? You okay, mate?
I'm good, man. Very good. Yeah, it's been a long time since we've done one of these little sit-downs. So yeah, good. Looking forward to catching up on a few different topics.
A lot's happened, hasn't it? Signings, injuries, friendly games, league games, development team and reserve team. So we'll try and cover a few things. But before we do, where are we off to later, Kieran?
Yeah, so it's a rare one for me. I'm going as a neutral to a game. I hardly ever get to any games where it's not Stourbridge related.
Well, it kind of is.
I guess it kind of, yeah, it
Kind
sort
of
of
is.
is in a way. Yeah, we're off to Sporting Calcer versus Sutton Coldfield tonight at Calcer. Yeah, should be a really interesting one. Obviously, Sutton, you'd say maybe a bit underwhelming league position at the moment. Calcer right up there, you know, gunning with Loughborough and potentially Bolmere as well. Yeah, it'd be a really interesting one, I think.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing some of our old players and old players' parents and
Yeah.
a few fans who ground hop a little bit, so it'll be good to catch up with a few of those as well. But let's talk a little bit about Stour today. I think we should start off with probably the biggest news out of the last month, in my opinion, and unfortunately it's a bit of sad news really in Dicko's injury.
Yeah.
We was there against Stoke, and we'll talk about the actual game shortly. But to see Dicko get stretched off, it's obviously a lot worse than we thought at the time. Straight to hospital, had an operation. She's very open on Twitter, so if you want to drop her a bit of a get well soon message and all that kind of stuff, then I'm sure she'll reply back to you. But I'm not too sure how long she's going to be out for, but it's a leg break, isn't it? So it's
Yeah.
not great at all.
Yeah, it's going to be a while, I think, isn't it? And like you said, like it's a lot worse than we thought from the sideline, because it almost seemed like nothing happened. Almost like, you know, she went in with it to a tackle against the Stoke player, and then yeah, it didn't seem like a massive deal at the time. But obviously, like you say, it's a leg breaker. So obviously, we wish Dicko all the best with her recovery, and you know everything's going on while she's out of playing. So yeah, she's a massive loss to the squad as well, because I think
Played so well.
she's like you said, been playing so well, and that midfield area where we're slightly maybe a bit light for bodies at the moment. Yeah, I think she's going to be a massive miss in the business end of the season, so to speak.
Yeah, I really enjoy watching her play, and we see her as like a midfielder, but she's been playing quite up top as well. You know, so she's really good at tracking the ball back and pressing, I guess, as well. And her energy is absolutely amazing. She knows the league really well as well, coming from Wolves. So, and I remember there was a game down here where she didn't start, and all the fans were like, "Oh, why is she not starting?" Was that the Halifax game? Was it? I think
Potentially something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone was just wondering why she didn't start, and it was so it just shows how quickly she's such a fan favourite already. So obviously we wish Dicko all the best as well, and hopefully she keeps in touch and comes to a few games as soon as she's able to. So yeah, best of luck to obviously Dicko there. But brighter news, since the last time we've been on here, I'm not too sure if we spoke about Maria Timms. So new signing.
Don't think so.
And of course Erin Griffiths. So a couple of defenders. Young, but also experienced in different ways as well. I think it's an area of the pitch where it was quite light, with Levy going at the start of the season. Kevin Allen, obviously, we never really replaced when she left in the summer, and Lexi Harrison going to Wolves. I know that was quite a while ago now. However, we never really brought any centre backs in, did we?
Yeah.
Now we've got two.
Yeah, I think it works alongside us going to almost a 5-back formation. Obviously, 3 centre backs, 2 wing backs. You know, you need a lot of bodies in there, and the last couple of games we've seen Rosie Emberley move slightly further up the pitch as well. I know she can play a bit of midfield. Maybe that's something we can explore, further going forward. So yeah, Maria's coming in, and Erin as well. And Maria, Erin's, I think she made her official debut this Sunday. But Maria has started a fair few games while she's been here, and I think she's been really good.
Yeah.
She's obviously a young player. She's quite strong, fairly good on the ball as well. I think she's exactly what we need. She fits the mould of a Stourbridge player very well.
Yeah, comes from 2 tier 3 teams as well in Derby and Albion. So for such a young age, she's like it's tier 3 kind of all she knows at the moment in this kind of level. So great sign there. Erin, obviously we know from the academy days as well, come from Wolves as well. So Yeah, they've got two good prospects there, and I know that Mike spoke about them, I think, in one of the press conferences, so I think that's where we spoke about them. I don't think we spoke about them on here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's obviously great to see as well. So, and also just a bit of a shout out to Neve Murphy at the moment, because she's seems to be on the form of her life at the moment. She came on against Stoke, played really well there, and then obviously the game down here the other day against Newcastle, player of the match, and she's had so much going on in her personal life as well. Positive stuff, obviously. It's well publicised that she's got married, so a lot of stuff going on there. But yeah, she's doing really well, isn't she? So all of a sudden, our centre backs, you got some choices to make, haven't you?
Yeah, it's healthy competition, isn't it? Obviously, you've got your Sophie Hazel-Graves, Neve, like you mentioned. Obviously, like we said before, Rosie can very easily slot into there, but potentially we want to use her more in midfield. And then Maria and Erin as well. So yeah, it's healthy competition. It keeps people, wanting to fight for their place, and I think that's always a good thing to have in a squad. You don't want people getting too relaxed, too comfy. Their form dropping as a consequence to that. And yeah, I think it's a very big statement that Neve Murphy has come in and put in a player of the match performance against Newcastle United, top of the league, Newcastle United. I thought she was outstanding. I thought she was fairly comfortably the best player on the park. Just winning every tackle, every header. Yeah, I thought she was very, very good.
Great stuff, great stuff. Just while we're talking about players more than games, let's talk a little bit about Mill Rogers. So we never actually said proud sponsors of, but that's because we don't even know who we're sponsoring these days. I'll tell you the amount of ins and outs. Yeah, obviously we sponsored Dicko, we did sponsor Mill Rogers, we sponsored Mill Rogers from day one, didn't we? And unfortunately, obviously she's left the club now and she's gone to Bolmere. Had 2 games at Bolmere already, started both games, so wish her the best of luck, and obviously it's close to home for her, and Bolmere challenging for Tier 4 promotion. So yeah, just did you kind of see that one coming at all, Key?
Sort of, in a way. Obviously, her main reason for leaving was the game time, and I think that's fair enough. That we've got a lot of bodies up front, and she found it difficult to get back in the squad after her injury.
That's the thing, yeah.
So yeah, I obviously wish her all the best. I think she's a fantastic asset to have any club, both on and off the pitch. We all know what Mill's like off the pitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good to see her leave because she's someone that has really embraced the club and knows the club through and through. But yeah, obviously, we wish her all the best. Obviously, hopefully she starts banging them in for Boldmere. And yeah, we're wishing her all the best with that.
100%, yeah. And like I say, just like off the field, she's been absolutely amazing. And I think I called her an icon once because all the youngsters look up to her, don't they? I think everyone likes that. I mean, my dad's 75 and he cracks up with the singing as well. So I think all this kind of stuff, she just has great atmosphere to a night out as well, let alone the actual match day. Her sister's still here though, so she's still actually been at the club. So just before she signed for Bolmere, I think she had about 2 weeks where she didn't play, and she was still down here, and she's ended on good terms with the club. So you never know, might see her back one day.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's so important that we leave on a good note with these players that we've come to love so much, that they feel like they're welcome back here. There's no bad blood. Yeah, I think it's really nice that we can still have that connection, and potentially, we might get to a Bolmere match sometime soon, go and see her. Yeah, it'd be really good to do that.
Absolutely, yeah, we'll definitely look out for those fixtures, of course. Yeah, let's talk about a couple of first team games then. So obviously we've had two league games. We've had a friendly game in there as well. We should have had some more friendlies, but there was rained off, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So Stoke away, Newcastle at home, 2 massive games. I think we went into Stoke thinking it's possible that we could get a draw, but we always knew it was going to be tough, especially away from home. I know it's quite a while ago, but
yeah, it is.
What do you think about that game?
Yeah, it is. It's struggling to actually remember it, wasn't it? Yeah,
it was tough.
From what I remember, though, it was a very good performance. I'm pretty sure. We were disappointed to not come away with anything from that game. Yeah, I thought Stoke are a fairly similar level to us. You might say they're a bit deserving to be higher on the table. But yeah, they're one of our sort of mid-table rivals at the moment.
There was there at least. I think there was. There was. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think like we say, it was a very, very disappointing one. Obviously, the main focus of that game was Dicko's injury. But yeah, I think it was a very tough game. Obviously, you know what you're getting from Stoke traditionally. It's a tough game, a lot of physicality. But I think we put in a good performance, and like we say, I think we were unlucky not to come away with anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think you look at that team as well, like being against Stoke, Daisy against her old club, Tash against her old club, of course Kelsey Richardson as well,
Yeah.
captain. But for me, the player who stood out was Zoe Clark. Just going forward. I don't think we've seen enough of this of Zoe Clark getting forward, and I think that might be a video to come maybe when we start talking about potential player of the seasons and when we start talking about this kind of stuff. But Zoe going forward looked so dangerous, and I'd love to be able to see that more often in a game, because obviously she scored against
Beautiful goal
against
as well.
Stoke. It was, and it just makes it look easy, doesn't she?
Yeah.
So for me, Zoe in that game was amazing. I can't remember who was the actual player of the match of that game now, but
I think it might have been Zoe actually.
it wouldn't surprise me. She done really well that game, and we actually had a great view of the goal because we was like right on the touchline, right on the touchline. She ran past us, and you could see it coming. Couldn't you? It was great to see.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think like you say, I think Zoe going forward, we know that quality that she has where it almost seems like the ball becomes glued to her feet where no one can get it off, and we've seen it down here, Stoke down here, where she scored that goal. She seemed to dart in and out of players. The West Brom goal that she scored down here as well. She's got that ability, and if we get to see her a bit further forward, I think it'd be really enjoyable because like we said, she's got that finishing, she's got that dribbling, she's got the physicality. She's got a lot of attributes for a top forward, let alone a top defender.
It's so true. I think if we could just somehow get like one or two fullbacks over the summer of like, I'm not going to say that they're going to be Zoe Clark's quality, maybe they will be, maybe they need to be, and just kind of release Zoe a little bit, even like a wide left, like a striker that we don't really see, but like something like that or wherever. But yeah, I'd just like to see her get on the ball a little bit more. Newcastle obviously was kind of dominated there, wasn't we? So I didn't go to that game. I was working, unfortunately. I was back at the clubhouse just after it finished, but we done ourselves proud there, didn't we? Just with that 3-0 loss.
Definitely. I think a lot of people were going into it expecting a cricket score, and it was far from that. I think Newcastle, millionaire Saudi-backed Newcastle, coming down here to the War Memorial. Admittedly, it's a not a great condition to be playing football in, but maybe that worked in our favour. But yeah, I think it's a performance that we can be really, really proud of. Holding the league leaders to a 3-0 loss when, comparatively away at Newcastle it was 5-0, and it wasn't an amazing performance at all. But we really dug into this one here. Obviously, we know that the War Memorial sort of brings something else out of us, and I think that showed again here that we had that extra bit of grit they didn't have that many chances. The first goal probably could have been prevented on another day. The other two goals, fairly decent goals, but on a different day, the scoreline could have been potentially a bit different. Rosie Emily had an amazing free kick saved. The keeper's just plucked out of thin air when it looked like it was nestling in that corner. If she scores that and brings it back to 1-1, the game could have been completely different. There's obviously no way to know, but it's an interesting thing to think about. And like you said, I think we can really, really have our heads held high following that result.
Yeah, I think going into the season, I think Newcastle was the one that everyone was looking at. I mean, me personally, I got more hyped up with the Albion and Wolves games, and we still got 2 of those to come. Well, one of them by the time this video probably goes out. But Newcastle is the one that we were more looking at, wasn't we? Gone to a full-time club. Did it kind of live up to the expectations of 2 Newcastle games? And also, what do you think about their travelling fan base?
Yeah, obviously we didn't go to the Newcastle away game. We watched it on the watch along that we did on here. But yeah, that was a great occasion. Being able to actually watch our team play at our homes, that's such a mental thing when you compare it to Crusaders a couple of years ago. Just on a random
Crusaders, but you're right.
Yeah. So it speaks volumes about where we've come and also the stature of the game in general and how it's grown. I think it's an amazing thing that's able to happen. Newcastle's fan base is superb. I don't know how many they brought in total. I would estimate maybe about 100 or so, do you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon so. We're about 279, didn't we, on the day? 270.
Yeah.
We've been averaging about 150 to 200, so...
Yeah, potentially about 100. And they were making loads of noise. They had a little drum, little squeaky thing, I don't know what you call it.
Hooter? Was it
potentially, one of them. But obviously Anthony tried his best to drown them out, but they were very good. They brought their own chants. They brought everything. And yeah, you can see why that team is so loved, because they're doing a lot of things right. You know, we spoke. I think Tash or Mike spoke about how their staffing and their fans and things acted off the pitch, and they were very respectful, very very nice natured. And I think that speaks a lot about that club. They're definitely one of the teams moving in a very very good direction in the women's game currently.
Yeah, absolutely. Great promotion for the National League and of course women's football. And yeah, I was just going to touch on that, but I think you just mentioned it. Mike did just really compliment Newcastle before and after the game. Nothing about the actual game itself, just the way that they presented themselves, which is great, because we'll see a lot more of those, won't we? They'll probably get promoted this season, and rightly so. And then push again, in the in the championship. So, good luck to them, absolutely. You had a trip to Wales, didn't you?
Yes.
Last month. Talk to us a little bit about that, and of course seeing one of our old players, Kieran Allen.
Yeah, no, that was always a good fun trip up to Wales.
It was a football game, by the way.
Yeah, Wrexham away. Obviously, we were meant to have a couple other pre-season friendlies. They were rained off, so Wrexham was our only one. But yeah, it was a good little journey down. Yeah, we're obviously unbeaten in Wales, 2 from 2. Aberystwyth as well. Yeah. But yeah, no, it was really fun. At the ground, I don't know how you say it. Keffin Druids, potentially, something like that.
That's good. I'll take it.
Yeah, we take it. It's a beautiful ground. Google some pictures of it. It's got a beautiful little cliffside on one of the sides of the ground. It's beautiful. But yeah, going there was obviously a bit of a change. We saw some of the Resis and Devs get a call up. I think Zara, Grace, potentially a few others I'm forgetting as well. But yeah, no, it was great for them to get involved. Zara actually getting a goal as well, and Grace actually getting goals. So yeah, it was really really good. Obviously, like you say, Kieran in the side. She didn't actually play that long. I think maybe first 30 minutes or so. But yeah, it was nice to see her playing. Obviously, she's the captain of Wrexham, so yeah, she's done really really well since departing the club.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was good little run out. Obviously, we had that break, so we needed to have something done there. And yeah, we got that. Got some good minutes in the legs. Got a few goals. Worked on the Devs and the Resis coming up with us as well. Yeah, a very very successful day out, I reckon.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and I think that was really important as well, to play a team like that where we could actually stand a chance of winning. Just kind of give us that winning feeling back a little bit, because obviously, it doesn't matter how good you are or how hard you try. Sometimes constant defeats, it kind of it might play on your mind a little bit.
Well, definitely, we were going into that thinking that we'd have Wolves. Obviously, that had been rained off as well. Yeah. So any little boost that we could have towards that game, I think, would have been massively helpful. Obviously, it didn't end up happening, and we ended up going into Newcastle straight after that. So, yeah, but either way, it was definitely a good trip.
Absolutely, yeah. We've promoted the pathway teams quite a lot on the Glassgirls network this season, whether it be on the YouTube or our digital hub where we write about them as well. We've attended a few games. The Devs are currently 1 point away from confirming promotion.
Yeah.
We got Lye Town hopefully soon. I don't think the date's been announced just yet, because that was rained off as well. Reserve team are going above and beyond. I think they'll be disappointed with 4th the way it's going. They might even be able to push for 3rd as well. Just an absolutely remarkable season. I just think it's almost like everything's gone too well. The first team looks like it might stay up if we at least get a point against Albion. Reserve team was never expected to be the top 3, top 4. Development team, yes, the ambition was to obviously win it, but it could have an ambition, but it could completely go wrong. It was a brand new team full of youngsters as well, and it's very hard to have 36, 40 players available across the women's section, where sometimes you've had to make 3 teams up to go to your first reserve and development team who all play at the same time. It could have gone horribly wrong, couldn't it? But Definitely. It looks like, touch wood, as things stand, it's all going massively right.
Yeah, definitely. I'm absolutely loving the pathway at the moment. I think it's so much fun to go down to their games when I get the chance. The different teams, the Resis, the Devs, have been to a fair few of each, and yeah, it's really fun to just see these young players coming through the ranks at Stourbridge. And yeah, just it almost feels like 2 or 3 seasons ago again,
This is what I was gonna say, yeah.
we're properly at the bottom, the roots of the pyramid. I'm slowly working our way up, and it's very reminiscent of that, and I
Yeah.
enjoy it because it brings back so many good memories. Obviously, the devs in the actual women's pyramid as well. You're obviously about to win the tier 8, tier 7 title, and potentially a cup run for them as well. So yeah, it's really, really exciting stuff, and I can't wait to see a few more as the season sort of peters out towards the end.
Yeah, it just replicates exactly like the way our first season when we came into it as well. That's pretty much when the first team was like going through the leagues, but not just the actual league position. The clubhouse afterwards,
Yeah.
more and more players are coming
Yeah.
back, like celebrating the wins, and so they should, because it's not easy to win any game in women's football when you're brand new to the league, and it's almost like your Ken and your Harry is the old-fashioned Fisher and Harris, as far
Yeah,
as of that, encouraging that team bonding. And we had Lou Butcher on the podcast last week, and she said how important it is to create that chemistry and get those relationships, so you fight for each other on and off the pitch. And something as simple as having a bit of banter after the game, celebrating those wins, even having a couple of drinks and putting the music on. It's nothing like it used to be, of course.
No.
And also a lot of them are still youngsters as well, so they wouldn't be drinking. But it's just great to kind of still have the professionalism of the first team, who are still in the same room as the young and up and coming, hungry, players who are probably never used to this level because they're not used to playing women's football. It's just nice to have everyone in the same room, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's some absolute characters in that. Both sides, Resis and Devs.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's great to have them here in the room with us. Getting to know them a bit better. Obviously, getting them used to being here as well. So if they're gonna ever make it to that first team, they know what to expect. They know what the culture of the club's like. It's not a place where you sort of play your matches, you go home. It's a place where you're with your mates. You're coming here. You're spending a few hours down here. And yeah, it's good that they're getting to experience that at such a young age, because I think it's really, really important for a team to have that. It's what got us arguably through those years with the first team, getting through the pyramid. So to have that with them, like I keep saying, it's very similar, but it's great to have, because it does remind me a lot of the older days.
Yeah. Talk about the old days. I was going to kind of almost finish on this quite a little bit. We was at the Lye game a couple of weeks ago. Was it a couple of weeks ago? I can't even remember. Roughly. And it was great to see some of our old players there. Some of them now play for Lye. So Lindsay Glover, was amazing for the fans. She had like a lot of fans at Stourbridge, and one of the most famous fans is Ollie. And Ollie came purely because of Lindsay Glover, and obviously now he sticks around Stourbridge, but Lindsay was there, Chelsea Jackson was there, so I was playing against those players. We had Alex turn up, Alex Nicklin, Carly Aldred, Courtney Murphy, and maybe there was some others that I never even saw there as well. But yeah, it was just nice to kind of see those again, wasn't it? Those faces.
Oh, definitely. Like we say with Mill leaving, it's always good that these players, they haven't left on sour notes. We can go up to them in the game, have a chat with them, sort of see how they're doing. But yeah, it's really nice to always see old faces. But yeah, I'm just hoping that reverse game. I'm hoping that it's a day when the first team don't have a game, because I really want to get down to that. Hopefully, see us win a title. Because if it's anything like that first game, it will be action packed. I tell you.
Credit to the Lye fan base. Remind me of a little bit of us when we used to be at like tier 4, tier 5 level, being the away team, but still making more noise. And they they did make some noise. I had a few people who was over that end saying, "Oh, it's a bit embarrassing." So, embarrassing. But I think generally in the consensus of it, it was very good to see them, supporting the team. Which is great to see. So we're off to Calcer and Sutton Coldfield now.
Yeah. Should we get some score predictions in?
Oh, flipping hell!
I don't really know that much about either side. I think Calcer, on paper, you put it for Calcer, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to go for 3-2 Calcer. I think it's going to be a bit of a goal fest.
Oh dear me! Well, all the Sutton players and all the Sutton fans will be like looking at me thinking, "Oh, John, you got to give a draw." Maybe. Well, we've seen Boldmere mess up a little bit in recent weeks. Maybe we can see Calcer mess up.
Potentially. potentially. On
Potentially,
the cards.
it could be. Maybe they know that we're coming and they'll try even harder. Maybe Sutton Coldfield will try even harder. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, let's go for something out of the ordinary then. Let's go for a 2-2.
2-2. Yeah, we'll take
Yeah.
that 2-2. Definitely.
So hopefully we'll see Loris Jeffries there, De Castro, Sophie
Hadley.
Levy if she's not on holiday still. Sophie Levy always seems to be on holiday. Meg Hadley, of course. Big Mac, obviously, Alma Government is at Kelso. Not too sure if she'll be at the game or not. So we've got at least 5 players there to look out for. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Definitely.
Kieran, thanks for joining us today, as always.
No problem, a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. And look out for the next fans podcast because we will be discussing something to do with player of the season.
Yeah.
There's a lot to choose from this year.
There is plenty. Yeah.
Okay, all the best, guys, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.